active when defending.
I think it's like
people deluded. I'm back again.
Come on, Ian. Come on.
Thank you very much, Ian Wright. That's a perfect intro from the big man. People deluded. I'm back again. First things first, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and of course, in some cases, good night. Hope you're doing well and safe. Hope you're all blessed. Hope you've all had a great weekend. Hope next week is even better than last week. And I hope you and your loved ones remain in good health. Thank you for supporting the channel. I'm very appreciative of all the support. I'm very appreciative of what we've been able to amass on this channel. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, you're subscribing. Also, you're turning on your notifications. You're checking out the YouTube playlist for all your football talk and things. One love to everyone who's been supporting me during this World Cup watch along period, you know, and all the other Arsenal stuff. I just love it, people. And as we get to the end of the year and you quantify what you have achieved and what you haven't, we're creating something special, man. So yeah, keep doing all of those things, boosting up the YouTube algorithm, and we'll keep growing our platform. We've just got over 50,000 subs. The train keeps going. Obviously, we're gearing towards the start of the Premier League, but we're also gearing towards the start of silly season transfer news for whatever reason, people. So without wasting any time, let's see what's going on in the world of Arsenal. If you allow me to share my screen. Bless me, apologies. No do-overs, no edits. We go again, in it, people. Sorry. And one love to everyone who said bless me automatically. You got good manners. Shout to your parents, man. But starting with this, as you know, I don't trust anything that links us with players based in Italy, because we've been taken around the houses. Xhaka, Saga, Torreira over there. You know, obviously we've been here with Zaniolo, Milinkovic, Savic, Locatelli, Vlahovic, and I've probably missed out some that you've probably shouted at your TV screens or computers or tablets or phones. Apparently, Arsenal asked for information for Tottenham target Zaniolo. That's the only team he's probably linked more with, probably in relation to his contract talks and things. I mean, he would provide. He's a good midfielder. He has the capacity to score goals. He's very intelligent. He's very cultured. He's got a really, you know, he's been dealt a real tough time with injuries, but he's a decent player. And Italy has served us well where you look at Tomiyasu. But allegedly, Arsenal have now asked for information on Zaniolo, with the Gunners considering trying to sign the Tottenham Hotspur target in the summer, according to a report from Roma Giallorosa. Apparently, Zaniolo continues to be heavily linked with a number of Premier League sides. Spurs have probably been the club mentioned most alongside the Roma maestro. Allegedly, you know, Antonio Conte dreams of having him in the same team as Harry Kane. Arsenal have allegedly asked for more information. Is that the willingness to sell, his willingness to leave? Do they want to sell? Do they not? Is it just to be kept with updates in relation to how much he might cost, contracts, etc.? I don't know. But apparently, Spurs remain in the race. Manchester United are also in the race. Arsenal also admirers, and the Gunners have taken steps into preparation for a potential push, or better yet, possible push to sign the 23-year-old. The report claims Mikel Arteta's men have asked for information on Zaniolo ahead of a potential bid. It appears that they are unlikely to make their move in January. Instead, they are keen ahead of the summer. Roma are attempting to agree a new contract with Zaniolo. They are willing to offer the Italy international a deal worth $4 million per year. Zaniolo is looking for 4.5, which works out to around 75k a week. So that's probably where the bulk of it is. The same way we're linked with Milinkovic, Savic, and to a degree Benasser, in that they're all contracted until 2024. They either renew at their clubs or their clubs are forced to sell in the summer, which probably means anything can happen. You could sign him in January or any of them, but that probably means that's a myth, people. So draw whatever conclusions you want to draw. You know, the dream is free, the hustle is sold separately. Arsenal wait for transfer update after making contact over signing Manchester United target. Lewis Winter sure knows how to make a great headline, but this just reiterates the same thing. We're waiting for an update on his contract. So maybe if he's became available and they're at loggerheads, then we'll make a move. As you know, with Italian players, they're very, you know, they like to stay within Italy. You know, very rarely do they move. There are obviously a couple of case studies, but it's very difficult, people. Apparently, his agent has confirmed that talks will be held over renewal. So there you probably have it. This could just Arsenal, Man United, and Spurs. We could be admirers of him. We could want him, but probably overselling our interest in relation to playing the poker game of potentially getting him a new deal at his current employers, people. So we have to see. There are no clouds on the horizon. We have an excellent rapport with Roma and Thiago Pinto. We've agreed that we'll discuss a contract extension in the future when the club think is best. Now the most important thing is to focus on work and performance on the pitch. The club know that we are ready to sit down and negotiate. I repeat that the rapport with Pinto is excellent and Zaniolo is happy in Rome with the fans. So there you probably have it, people. He also said, I can't talk about figures, but they are not difficult to guess. Roma value Nicolo highly last summer and will negotiate a new salary based on the club's evaluation. Nothing more, nothing less. Nobody is surprised that a player like Zaniolo, who is 23 and has a contract expiring in 2024, is being monitored by many important clubs. And he's right on that. Not surprised at all. But again, draw whatever conclusions you want to draw with that. 1 minute we're signing Danilo, 1 minute we don't want to sign him. I don't know what conclusions to read, people. But as I say, until people are signing shirts, they're taking that famous picture in the London Coley offices with Vinay behind Arteta and Edu either side, and they're saying they've loved Arsenal since they were a little kid and all of that jazz. Anything can happen. Apparently, Arsenal are actually not looking at him, but this report says Arsenal are looking to sign the Palmeiras midfielder Danilo dos Santos, what a wavy name, when the transfer window reopens in January. The 21-year-old has attracted the attention of top European clubs with his performances and remains to be seen whether the Gunners can secure his services. Now, in the summer, he's linked with AC Milan, Inter, and a couple of others. It's primarily been Monaco, Arsenal, and Ajax, where we're all trying to do this project thing, in which, again, our loss could be their gain. You go Ajax, you go Monaco, great. First steps into the European market or the European game. You learn the tricks in the trade. Ajax and Monaco, maybe not so much Monaco in recent years, but you develop, you'll be sold there. In fact, I say that they bought Tchouameni, who's about to play in a World Cup final. Smash the like button. Make sure you turned on your notifications. We will be watching Argentina versus France World Cup final live from 250. They signed him from Bordeaux, where I was saying videos we need to sign him from them times there, and they sold him for 100 million euros. So they're laughing. So there's projects to be said. We all know Arteta is looking to reinforce a number of positions prior to Jesus' injury. Because we failed to do it in the summer, we were linked with bringing in a centre mid and a right winger. As you know, Rafinha, Pedro Neto, where wide positions failed. Central midfield, we didn't get Douglas Luiz, Danilo, Telemans or anybody. So hopefully these areas are addressed in the summer. So apparently, according to this report, Arteta is looking to reinforce his squad during January. I mean, you'd imagine him and Edu are trying to get reinforcements. We know we've got interest or some level of admiration for Danilo and what he could bring to the table, but it doesn't shed any light on anything really and truly that we didn't already potentially know. Talks opened over Mudryk move. Arsenal have opened talks with Shakhtar Donetsk over a move for Mikhail Mudryk, according to the Evening Standard. Shakhtar are said to value the 21-year-old at 85 million. Allegedly, we're also looking at Pedro Neto. Now, we've covered him before. Check out my other videos because it doesn't seem like there's any update really there. We've been linked with Asensio. We've previously been linked with Vlahovic because of what's going on at Juventus. Shout out to Juventus' F team for smacking us yesterday. We all know Cody Gakpo is going to end up at United, in my opinion. And Erik ten Hag is banking on his relationship with Cody Gakpo. I mean, they've got the Dutch market on smash. At Ajax, they got Van der Sar and all them guys. At PSV, you've got his current coach, Cody Gakpo, Ruud van Nistelrooy. He's only going to mutter great words to his current player about Manchester United. Obviously, there's Ten Hag. Man United seem to be the primary target. Now, he fits the kind of profile of what we're trying to sign, and we have previously been linked with him, not just us or Manchester United, but a few clubs. So, in my opinion, he ends up at Man United, but allegedly Arsenal are looking at him as well, people. Leeds have continued to talk to Gakpo's advisors in recent months, but the battle now seems to be between Manchester United, Madrid, Arsenal, and Newcastle. I'm not too sure on Madrid's level of interest. Newcastle have been linked before, as well as Leeds and Southampton. I believe, just me as a fan, Manchester United are the front runners. If for whatever reason it doesn't happen, then maybe we could convince him, but I'm not too sure. So yeah, man. It doesn't shed anything really and truly apart from the fact that he plays in a position we'd like to go to. Reece Nelson has broken his silence and he's basically said, trust the process. He was forced off yesterday with a hamstring knock. I'm not too sure on this article. For what it's worth, Marcus Thuram, who's like his father, about to play potentially in a World Cup final. Apparently, Blinder said, well, this article was available. He's available for 13 million. I'm not too sure if Arsenal are going to go down that route. We've previously spoken about João Felix. The reason I say Arsenal are not favourites is because although Atletico want to sell, which has been made clear by their CEO, they're going to be looking for a massive fee for Felix. And do we have that sort of commitment in January? You lot would have to draw your own conclusions. As you can see here, people, he's available for 12 million euros in Jan because his contract's running down. We've been linked with Hinkapie, the centre-back/left-back of Bayern Leverkusen, who's also got interest from Chelsea. And it looks like Chelsea might be looking at the player as well. Congratulations to Saliba. Good luck. Well, you're not going to play, but good luck in the final anyways. Telemans has spoken about his future, potential Arsenal, Barcelona, Liverpool, Manchester United and Chelsea target, if you believe that. I'm not going to speak too much about my contract situation at the moment. My family is very happy there, and that's important. I didn't leave in the summer. As I always said, the project had to be the right one. Just because things are getting worse now at Leicester doesn't mean I should regret. Whether you are in the last contract year or not, it's also not the case that I talk to the club every day about my extension or not. That is work for my agent. In the end, I will decide. Mature words and facts. Mikel Arteta dealt blow in Ruben Neves' pursuit. Arsenal have been dealt a huge blow in their bid to bring Ruben Neves to the Emirates in the January transfer window. According to the Times, who claimed that despite the central midfielder entering the final 18 months of his contract at Wolves, Lopetegui is unwilling to part with the 25-year-old this winter, with the Spaniard preferring to wait until the summer before considering cashing in on the Portugal international. And that's nothing really that we didn't know, but apparently Barcelona are not necessarily convinced. It seems like Liverpool and Manchester United targets have moved on to other targets. He could be a good option for the squad, in my opinion, really and truly, if he stops all that celebration police stuff. I don't know why it's linked Declan Rice. I mean, Declan Rice would be lit at Arsenal, but it's big money for a player that I don't necessarily feel is worth that. Barca are reportedly closing in on a deal to sign Ruben Neves in 2023. Ruben Neves has been slated by the Portuguese media, which I don't think he had a terrible World Cup campaign, people, if I'm honest with you. But yeah, they've been on him. Collected some interceptions and was the second most efficient passer behind Diaz. But if he was there to spray long passes to the wings from deep, it just didn't work out. A lackluster performance and a lackluster tournament. Oh, boy, a bit harsh, isn't it, really and truly? This also says Xavi's unsure on Barcelona move for Ruben Neves. So is that something we could take advantage of? I'm not too sure, people, really and truly. So that's Mudryk, Zaniolo, and the rest of them. Looking at what Mikel Arteta had to say yesterday in the press conference, specifically, people, again, it was a disappointing result. On Reece Nelson's injury, we don't know the extent of the injury. The fact he had to leave the pitch immediately is not good news, especially someone like Reece, who is really powerful and fast. Let's see what happens. We know what we have to do, and that hasn't changed the plans. And Nelson's a peripheral figure at the Emirates. His injury isn't going to tip us into anything. Bit harsh for Reece because that left wing is a bit open season. Smith-Rowe isn't necessarily ready to play football. Martinelli could go up front. Eddie could go up front. Obviously, you're going to need options off the bench. He could have been that. He's offered updates on Smith-Rowe, Zinchenko and Tomiyasu. Emil hasn't been able to train in the last few days, but hopefully he can start to train next week. He's been out for a while now. He needs some time to get back up to speed. We really need him. We're going to welcome him with both arms because he's a really important player for us. We need him fit on the pitch. Alex is progressing well and Tommy is running on the pitch. Hopefully we're going to get the international players, in brackets, who have been at the World Cup joining again this week. And we will all be watching William Saliba tomorrow to see if he can win the World Cup. He'll be watching as well because he's playing. On Eddie and Ketia, Eddie is always ready. He knows that it opens an opportunity for him. He needs to grab it, but the way he trains every day and the mentality he has, he gives us no reason not to think he's going to be super ready to perform. I'd agree with that. And yeah, people, on Saka and Martinelli, they'll come back straight away into rhythm, shape, and mold of the team. We're waiting for them. They're desperate to be back as well. I've spoken to both of them. Gabby was here today with a big smile and big energy. He's ready to go again. It's going to be a big boost for the team. And we're going to need the Fabio Vieiras, the Smith-Rowes, the Zinchenkos, the Tomiyasus, the Kierantinis, peripheral figures in the first half of the season to step up. And we're obviously going to need Saka, Martinelli, and other players who were setting it for us in the first half of the season to go with, probably marrying some quality in the transfer market in January. So we'll have to see, people, really and truly what is going to be said there. He also said we are in a really good place. Everyone is in a high emotional state because we are where we want to be at the top of the league. I think we have deserved to be in the position we're in with the way we've played and the way we're approaching games. This window has been to reinforce where we are, but still the good news is that there are still things to improve and become an even better team. No, I think it's been really positive. The players we have trained exceptionally well, better than I've probably ever seen them train. Bit of cap there. They've completely competed really well, played really well, and we just have to continue. It's a long marathon. We have to go game by game. Amen, Gaffer. That's all the Gaffer could say. Should we see what Goal.com has linked us with? Oh, wow. Said we're considering a move for Isco. Do you believe that? I'm not too sure any of you do. Once again, we're allegedly plotting a 25 million euro offer for Zaniolo. We're in pole position to sign Mudryk. Until the man signs, I don't know. Mudryk is a real, said DiMarzio said Mudryk is a really good player. AC Milan wanted him in the summer in case Rafa Leao left, but he was too expensive for Milan. Right now, Arsenal are trying to secure because they know they're dealing with a very talented player, but whether it will work out in January, I don't know. They are in pole position to capture him is certain, though, but Shakhtar are a tough negotiating partner and they're likely to ask around 35 million euros for him. I mean, there's bare different figures. Rabiot's reps and Arsenal allegedly are in regular contact. City are looking at Saka. We're keen on signing Pedro Neto. 1 minute João Felix don't want to sign for Arsenal, then he does, depending on where you read people. Nelson's been dealt a blow in his pursuit of a new contract at Arsenal because he might be injured with a hamstring but he's hoping to extend his future, or better yet, his time at Arsenal, really and truly. So it all depends really what you read. But in relation to the news, that's all I've got to say. That's all the newspapers I can see have got to say. Obviously, any other emerging gossip, talking points and thoughts, I'll get a video out for you. Please make sure you're checking out the playlist. You're hitting the like button. You're subscribing. You're commenting when this video premieres and also after. Most importantly, people, stay blessed, stay safe, and we'll link up again. I'm out.
Always was that active and defending.
I've been good.